right. See? All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to Allah Akim that is doing the work in sincerity and charity with humiliation all across the four winds. To you, I salute. All right. There we got a good lesson lineup. Real good lesson lineup. So Lord willing, it be edifying. Saying that independence, saying that this independent holiday is upon us, and Jay going all out trying to be patriotic, I see a couple of cars decorated with the Bahamian flag, showing their patriotism, But yeah, man, the scriptures goes against that, because in reality, you thinking that you're a Bahamian, you ain't no Bahamian. You ain't no Bahamian. Because if I ask you what the word Bahamian means, you can't tell me. All right? Or where the term even come from. But if you Google where the term Bahamian come from, Google don't even know. All right? Actually, you name after Esau. Someone give me Psalms 49 and 11. All right.
Book of Psalms chapter 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
Right, they call their land after their own names. For example, right? America. Who America is named after? All right, what a guy name again? America or something like that. Right. Okay. Same thing with the Bahamas. All right. Ain't no damn Bahamian. We can talk a lot right now. You proud to be a Bahamian? When you go into that term Bahamian, that's something like that. People in that. Right. Okay. Like they say, when you explore that term Bahamian, you'll find out that takes you back to the monarch of the Bahamas. And the monarch of the Bahamas is who? The Queen. All right. So when you say you proud to be a Bahamian, all right, you basically saying you proud to be a subject to the Queen. All right, because that's all it is. All right, you got something on the Governor General, brother, that you did bring out before.
Right.
All right, because the Governor General is a representative for the Queen. You see, you could go ahead and pull that up, brother. All right, that's for edification. Because if you truly was free, then you would not no need for a passport, a driver's license, and I mean, which we can get into all of that. All right. The Governor General, all he does is he do the Queen bidding. That's it. Okay. So you ain't no Bahamian. As a matter of fact, prior to 1973, what were you calling yourself? You see what I said? So prior to 1973, what are you calling yourself? All right.
Say the job of the Governor General. The Governor General is appointed by the monarch on the recommendation of the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. Functions of the Governor General include appointing ministers, judges, and ambassadors, giving royal assent to legislation passed by Parliament, and issuing writs for election. So more or less, the
That's it. All right.
That's the groundsman for the queen, for the monarch.
That's it. Okay. Another thing. Last night me knock him. We been out to Shalom Yabashim Yashai Barakam. All right. Before we get into that, the brother post here, Sirach 4 and 27. Make not thyself an underlining to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty. All right. That's it, brother. All right. But Daniel chapter 3. That's all that I'm there. All right. Because last night we went out to what we call regatta over here. And as we was entering into the gate, what was happening, the national anthem was being sung, right? And what you had people actually standing attention, and when you do that, you basically paying homage to an idol, all right? Right, they don't even understand. So I said last night, so I said last night, why these people bowing down to this idol? So that's what she said about, oh man, this show respect. Respect to who? To that idol. But we're gonna get into that. Let's go ahead, brother. Let's go ahead and bring that out. See, because when this national anthem is being sung, these people, they don't understand and they don't have a clue as to what they're doing. But we're gonna get into that. All right.
This is Daniel 3 and 1. Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 3 score cubits, and the breadth thereof of 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon.
Read on.
Verse 2. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces, who come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then an herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages.
Right. You see that to you, right? O people, right? Now, of course, we are our people in this Babylonian captivity. All right. And when you really look at it, our people still in that same mindset today. All right. Because now, what is the next word is going to break it down? Right. Let's read on, brother.
Verse 5, that at what time ye hear the song of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
Right. So at that time, see, because all these things, they are basically music instruments. You understand? All right, now come, Monday, that's when they're going to celebrate independence, right? Now, guess what? When they have the service, what's not, people ain't gonna be singing, right? They're gonna be playing these musical instruments. And what you gonna have? So-called behemoths gonna do what? Stand attention. So when they hear this being sung or when they hear this being played, they paying homage to that idol. So that's them bowing down to that idol. That's it. You're independent from shit.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Which, like I say, we're gonna get into that. Go ahead, brother.
You know what's so interesting and how stupid these people is, right? They call themselves independent, right? What's our number one industry? Tourism. And tourism is servitude. You independent, but your number one industry is being a slave. How that make sense?
You're proud to be a baby, right?
Yeah.
You're proud to be a baby, but that goes right back to being
independent is a dignified slave.
God.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Your main industry is dependent upon
Others.
Yeah.
Your main industry is dependency.
Okay.
But you independent.
And you're independent.
Oh, man.
God. All right, the brother post here, Isaiah 44:17. And the residue thereof make it a god. He make it a god. Even his graven image, he falleth down unto it and worship it, and prayed unto it, and said, deliver me, for thou art my God. All right, and that's these people now. All right, the woman dog kid, but respect the who. Jake was looking so damn foolish. When you look around, everybody starting to that shit. I telling you what.
That's the program, boy.
I telling you what. These people been programmed. For he said, he said they have not known nor understood. You damn right. All right. For he shut their eyes that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand. And that's exactly what happened. But that's why the woman made that foolish statement. You understand? All right. So yeah, man. People bow down to this idol, man. All right. That's them showing that respect. But read on, brother.
Verse 6. And whoso falleth not down and worship it shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the song of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
That's it. So everybody who been out there, man, shit, when they hear the national anthem being sung, they dab, started that shit. They say, white shit crazy,
Look at the
Right, speak up, brother.
when it's like, if you look at what the 1% has been doing over the years when it comes to music, these entertainers, they are in control of these entertainers. Really, the entertainers use the music in control of mostly, you should say, humanity, because music and how these sounds control these people. Actually, you know what I mean? And like you say, when they hear the national anthem, they think they're doing something good, standing up straight and worshiping, you know what I mean? God as slavery, but in all actuality, like you say, they're worshiping an idol, they're doing something wrong, just through music, you know what I mean?
That's it. Gun. Gun. All right. Right. You got something, brother?
Okay, yeah. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 26, where you see a point how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty men, not many noble are called. So these mighty and noble men, these are your defense force or police or your armed forces with that. And these noble men, these are your leaders and governors with that. But their nobility, their loyalty is to their country and the crown and the queen. So the Most High said, these are not called no noble or mighty men, because their loyalty is to the nation and to the governor, and then who is Esau controlled and on the Esau.
And you know what's so interesting? The scripture that goes into making pledges, right? You're never supposed to make a pledge or oath of any of the sort. But yet they start up with their right hand across their left breast. More or less like a covenant. Pledging their allegiance to the flag, to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. You see? Which is in ownership. Who owns the Commonwealth of the Bahamas?
Done.
The monarch, the queen, right? So that means you pledging your allegiance to the queen. You entering into that covenant with them. And that ain't something you're supposed to be doing.
They pledge my allegiance to the flag.
That's it.
Remember back in the ancient world, whenever a covenant would be made, remember he sit on his hand as a covenant. You putting your right hand across your left breast is you sealing a covenant. You see? So you gotta be mindful of these things too.
Jake don't understand these things, man. Jake said he free.
This is what's ironic and think about it. they seek to get into these office. Okay, that's what they live for, to become these prime ministers and leaders and ministers and whatnot. But these people are rejected by the Most High.
God.
Okay, they are profane according to the Most High. They're like Esau. They profane themselves. They make themselves profane.
If I can go into that word real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
You know, the independent nation, right? This is what the word allegiance means. Allegiance means loyalty or commitment to a superior or to a group or cause. So you pledge allegiance to your superior. You see? And again, you know, that ain't something you're supposed to be doing. Your allegiance supposed to be with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's who your allegiance supposed to be with.
Yeah. Not the country. You understand? That's it. Because you calling yourself a Bahamian, if you could get that in the law, in the curse of Salakia, Deuteronomy 28, I think it's somewhere around 37. You know, byword, proverb and a byword. Right.
That's Deuteronomy 20:37. Thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword.
Right, since you're so damn proud to be a Bahamian. All right, the Most High said he's gonna make you a proverb and a byword. You damn nigga. All right, that's what it is. All right, so you saying that you're proud to be a Bahamian, you basically saying you're proud to be a nigga. Because a nigga and a Bahamian is the same thing.
Yep. That's just a you call that a euphemism. That's a nice way of saying a negative term.
That's it.
You're a part of Esau's kingdom.
Yeah.
That's it. You know.
You're in association and connecting yourself to Esau and his rulership.
Done.
You know, if we go revisit the same Deuteronomy 28 and 38, right? It says, "Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it." When you look at that from a different aspect, right? You go and you working all day, every day, right? You putting in 40 hours a week, and you bringing in minute or minuscule pay. So you giving your allegiance to this country or to the monarch, and you giving them your time, because in order for you to make money, it requires your time. You giving them 40 hours of your life, maybe even more than that, and you get little back because the locust consume, and you know locust is consume. Same thing like Esau with the system, consume. Bills can be equated with locusts.
Yeah.
You see?
All right, the brother post here, First Maccabees 1:11. In those days when there are out wicked men who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are wrong about us. But since we have departed from them, we have much sorrow." All right, so this device pleased them well. Then certain of the men were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen, gave them permission. All right, but yeah, man, as we move, right? So concerning this independence or July 10th, all right, because our people still, you know, they don't realize that they're still in slavery. You understand? And that's a big thing, because the best slave you want is one who thinks he's free. You understand? All right, and we still being oppressed, all right, by the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, we are still slaves. Right, we are yet to stay in our captivity. All right, and our people, we mightn't be in physical chains, but we in mental chains. All right. All right, yeah, man.
You know, with physical chains only can stretch so far, but that mental chain go with you everywhere.
That's it. All right. That's it. All right, and I can show you, I can give you an example, all right, of us being in slavery mentally. All right. Because check this out, right? Our people fail to realize these celebrations. All right, these are decorations. All right, you go to any government building, what you can see. All right.
Like coat of arms.
That's it.
All those images.
As it pertains to July 10th, you can see a bunch of decorations. All right. But they don't understand that we coming into different things coming upon the face of the earth, while our people being sidetracked with them being proud to be a nigga. Right. All right. But we can deal with that. Let's get Baruch chapter 3, verse 7. All right. Check the comment board before you go there, brother. All right. The brother posts October 3 and 4. For they obeyed not the commandments whereof thou hast delivered. For Salakia, for they obeyed not the commandments. All right, and that's what happened. All right. We ain't followed the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why we still in our damn captivity. All right. It says, wherefore thou hast delivered us for a spoil, and unto captivity, and unto death, and for a proverb of reproach to all the nations whom we are dispersed. That's it. Right. I think that Jeremiah 2 and 14, 2 and 10, something like that. Right. All right. Shalom, brother Yabashim Yahushai Barakatah. All right, let's get that, brother.
Jeremiah, Baruch 3 and 7.
Baruch 3 and 7, yeah.
All right, this Baruch 3 and 7. And for this cause, thou hast put thy fear in our hearts.
Right, and for this cause thou hast put the fear in our hearts. All right, our minds.
Okay.
All right, because we still in slavery, and our people fail to realize that. You ask a nigga now, what's his nationality? What he can tell you, he's a Bahamian. You understand? All right.
To the intent that we should call upon thy name.
Right. So Jake looking at all these decorations and these flags and shit of the car, her deco with the Bahamian flag, all that shit. You understand? Because, like I stated earlier, before 1973, what were you calling yourself? You understand?
That's it.
What were we actually? We were using a British passport.
That's what he's saying. You used to have that British passport.
Yeah, we go British.
You see what I said?
Still slaves.
Yeah,
You still slave. Ain't nothing changed.
Now we
going from slave to slave.
That's it. All right, that's they like to say emancipation. All right, which emancipation simply means transfer of ownership. You understand? And that's it. We ain't damn free. All we do is been transferred over to another slave owner.
Yeah, we find them.
I tell you that bad. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
praise,
so like you read it from the top again, brother.
and for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee.
Right. All right. And that's why the Most High Power Yahweh, Him Yahushai, still have us serving our oppressors unto this very day. All right. Because we transgress the laws. All right. All right. Yeah, man. We have sinned against our power. That's why we still going through today. Shalom, brother Yahweh, Shem Yahushai, Barakatah. Done. Yeah, let's read verse 8, brother.
God, it's Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahweh power.
Right. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. All right. So a nigga think he free. Free what? All right. That's an illusion, but you ain't free. All right. Because we've been scattered all over the world for a reproach, right? And what? To be subject to payments. All right. So being subject to payments, that's further proof that we ain't free. That further proof that you still a slave. Because guess what? You still have to damn pay them taxes, right? Okay. What is right? can take it a step further. Since you saying you free, I know if any of y'all are giving up your passport on you, right? But check this out, and you could look at any passport, for example, right? As a matter of fact, you can look at any passport. When you go on the back of that passport have what? The property of the Bahamian government or the Bahamas government.
Every passport.
Whatever country you're from, that's the property of that country. So you as the holder of that passport make you what? The property of that country. All right? So all that passport is a slave pass. All right? We can get that if you could pull that up, brother. All right. Okay.
All right, this goes into slave pass, the scope and content. Slave pass or pass Jane about town for 1 month till 10 o'clock at night.
Right. So this slave pass, what you can find out is this just a written pass by a slave owner, allowing you to travel freely to where from point A to point B, but you're only allowed to be out at a certain time. All right. Now let's read the next one, brother.
Signed by W. Woodbridge in 1845. That's a documentation.
That's all it is. When we bring out the next article is going to go in there.
Administrative or biographical history. A Negro slave was not allowed to go beyond the confines of his owner's plantation without permission.
Right. All right. So guess what? Same thing as with the passport. You need permission to leave the country.
And they just put a lot of these things inside these movies, like the series Spartacus and something of the sort too. The only way they could go from one place to the next, they have to have that pass visible around their necks.
That's it. All right.
On this pass was written the name of the Negro, the place he was permitted to visit, and the time beyond which he must not fail to return.
Right, and that's the same thing with the passport. So the slave pass and the passport is the same thing.
Because when you go to catch a flight, you gotta tell them where you going, how long you going there for, what's the purpose of your trip, and when you coming back, how much money you carrying on you, how much people going with you. Same thing.
That's it.
The only thing they do is pretty it up a little more.
That's it. So for all these niggas out here who saying, man, they're proud to be a Bahamian, you need to think again.
And you know what's so funny too? You mess and pop up inside a place without your passport. Like if any of us was to hop on a plane right now, hop on a boat and go to the States and you don't have no passport, what happened to you? You get locked up.
That's it.
You get locked up and sent back to your plantation.
Gun.
You see that?
Why we need permission in this part?
Exactly. If we independent, why we need permission to go into what country we want to go into?
That's it. When you could just pick up and go any place.
And you know what's so funny about that same instance? When you get locked up and they send you back to where you come from, they take away your passport so you can't leave your plantation no more.
That's it. Your country is your plantation. All right. Your land, wherever you may be from, or wherever you say you from, that's your prison cell.
Wow, that's some shit.
All right.
Back in the ancient days, they didn't require no passport to go wherever they want to go.
Permission.
They could go into any land you choose and dwell there. Any land.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
All right. Let's get another article, brother.
You know, it's so funny that only really applies to Jakes, because when you think about it,
That's who this message is for. That's who we out here for.
because when you think about it even more, right? Not just Esau or Edomite or anyone from one of the heathens could pop up inside this land right now and throw up a building at any given time without hassle, like this particular keyword right here. They go down, buy the land and throw up a house just like that, no hassle. But you let me or you or Jake try to throw up a building in our own land, it's a hassle. If you imagine you're into another land and try to throw up a building, you can't do it. they could come into your plantation and do as they feel. But you can't even do what you want to do inside your own plantation, but you independent. Yeah.
You still a slave.
Yes, there you go. It says here, slave passes. In 18...
All right, so like now we're gonna go into, you know, the slave passes or the passport. Basically, it's the same thing, right?
Says here, in this...
We can read that whole lot of it.
All right, God. Slave passes. In this 1857 narrative, 22 years a slave and 40 years a free man. Austin Stewart describes the punishment for enslaved people caught without a written pass.
All right, so like you was going into you know, you travel to another country without a passport and you entered there illegally. Same thing, right? So he's describing the punishment for that, for you not having your slave pass on you.
Should anyone venture to disobey this law, he will most likely be caught by the patrol and given 39 lashes, because they consider 40 too much. While the punishment might have been deferred in various regions and for various transgressions, this was a common occurrence for those enslaved in the United States in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Slave passes were an early form of racialized surveillance. Small pieces of paper with the power to decide where Black men and women could travel, who they could meet, and whether they might be subject to violence.
Right, same thing. Like you would see these other countries do, you know, they'll put out a bulletin or what's not, you know, advising their citizens not to go this way or that way. It's the same thing. That's where this whole concept comes from. You see? Read.
Yeah, this is a copy of these good guards and pickets pass. Colonial governments passed laws requiring all enslaved people. Let me read that again. Colonial governments passed laws requiring all enslaved people to travel with written permission as early as the mid-17th century.
Right, and that basically speaking to who? Niggas.
All enslaved people.
That's it.
And we got passport.
That's it.
So all of we enslaved.
All right, and this year goes beyond the passport because we have something what you call a driver's license. You understand? But I can show you something. The brother was going into the what you call the straw man argument, what's not, right? Anytime the government issue anything to you, it always be in all caps. And when you sign on that, how you sign? You sign your signature. All right, for it letting you know that you're nothing but a damn slave. All right, that goes with your driver's license, your NIB.
Driver's license, NIB. Even if you signing up for school, everything.
That's it. Everything always be in all caps.
Police record.
All right. Birth certificate, which we can touch on that in a little bit too.
Yeah.
All right. But let's finish this, brother.
Says here, Barbados passed a slave law in 1688 that required enslaved people to carry passes when traveling outside of their plantations, as it is absolutely necessary to the safety of this place. Right. They are us listed as savages from then. Right. When they are the true savages.
So if you want to leave this plantation and go into a foreign plantation, you gotta let them know. It's the same thing today. You gotta get your stamp of approval. You gotta get the permission.
And in order for you to go there, if they're supposed to be your land, right? Before you could go into their land, they have their personnel in your land to approve you inside your land for you to go over borders. So they have more jurisdiction in your land than you. Because before you go to the States, you got to go through U.S. border and protection.
That's it.
While you in the Bahamas.
But you free.
You see? Boy. You know, when tourists or people come in here, they don't have to go through Bahamas customs and thing before they come here. They go to that when they reach here. You see?
Well, that's a beauty.
Yeah, they go through that process when they reach here. You know? And I tell you one thing, And if you let a certain one come to you and you hassle them, like you doing your job, but you hassling them, that could cost you your job or cost you get more from the post where you is.
Yeah.
That's some shit, eh?
Just shows you.
Man, you know, a lot of these people, when they come through, if you search them and they feel some type of way about it, they make one call to your prime minister, the person who you elected to go there. And your prime minister will call you and tell you, hey, let that one go. And you dare not open your mouth to say yay or nay.
That's it. And I saying that happened before.
Right?
All right, read on, brother.
It says similar laws were passed all over the Caribbean and later enacted in the United States. Sally Haddon argues that these laws were integral to the institution of slavery because mobility was key to gaining freedom. If Black people were allowed freedom of movement, they were more likely to run away or organize rebellions. Passes were also important in the construction of race-based slavery, as the ability for slave patrols to stop and terrorize any Black person reiterated the impression that Black people and enslavement were synonymous.
That's it. There you go. So that's why this whole system of this passport shit and this slave pass was created for the Israelite man, for the Black man. All right, because they fear that hey, if we could move around freely, we get together and try to come together and overthrow them, man. That's it.
But this so-called free man.
That's it. But Jacob O'Deal getting ready to go on motorcade and all that shit. You know?
You won't see when the monarch son, they come over here, well, when there's in the capital in Nassau, yeah. Right? The route, what he was taking, they paved if he's going through this corner, they put new asphalt on the road for the route where he was going. And he didn't deviate off that route. Everywhere you see a brand new road inside the capital was a route where they took. Which made no sense because at the end of the day, if he only seeing, well, the road paved and everything looking nice, as far as they're concerned, they're calling he doing well.
Yeah.
You see? But that's where the people there are so stupid and indoctrinated, you know, and so blind to the fact that they are that they are slaves.
Done.
Right?
Read on, brother.
It says here, slave passes were provided by slave owners and were used if enslaved people were sent to run errands, to labor on another plantations, or to visit friends or family. Passes generally included the name or description of the enslaved person, sounds like a passport, the date and sometimes time, the intended destination, and the signature of the slave owner.
Right, that's the passport.
Your name, your date of birth, the description of you, your number, your height, how long, when it was issued to you, when it expires. Why you have to get a passport renewal when you was the same person who on it? Same thing with driver's license. You know, a lot of people, you see Gary, who they call Gary, right?
Yeah, that's a valid point he made.
Yeah, he made a valid point. If I got a driver's license, I is the same person on this driver's license this year as I is the next year. Why I need to get it renewed? Why I have to pay a tax to get something renewed that I'm still the same person?
All right, again, that goes back to Baruch 3 and 8 to be subject to payment. That's it.
The use of the road or for them to
they're taxing you to keep your pass valid.
That's it. That's all they're trying to say. You understand?
And then that passport thing, that's just an indicator to inform of your whereabouts and where you travel and how long you travel. All that is for them to keep a tab on you. It's just like, you know.
And where it says here, the signature of the slave owner, what do you think that coat of arms crest is on your passport? Every passport has a crest or an insignia from the place where the person resides. That's the signature of the slave owner. You see?
That's it. Let's read some more, brother.
It says most passes were handwritten on small pieces of paper, though some were printed from a template and included only the pertinent information by hand. Slave patrols were responsible for checking to make sure that black people traveling outside of plantations could produce some kind of written documentation.
Right. Right. That goes into your immigration and all of that.
Immigration and customs.
Right. That's how come all of this was, created. Right. But what you're gonna find out is that those slave patrols is, they were basically, when you go in there, they basically like people who owe the slave owners, certain things, like a certain favor or monies or whatever, and they couldn't afford to pay back. What you're gonna also find out is that, this whole thing was, this whole system, they designed a whole system just to keep us like down and to keep us illiterate, to keep us from not knowing how to read and write. But what you're also gonna find out is that some of these same patrols, all right, they couldn't even damn read and write. They were more illiterate than the slaves. All right, when you keep reading.
When you think about it, but even over here, when you look at when a foreigner comes into the country versus when a local comes into the country, treated two completely different ways, because there's a law here. Whenever a foreigner comes in, regardless how many, if they travel here 100 times over and over, they are allowed, I think, either $100 or $200 an exemption, right? Every time they come. So if they come 100 times here, that's about $10,000, But a local, they are allowed $500 exemption only twice. So if you was a person who always traveling, you only get about $1,000 worth of stuff for free, and after that you have to pay for every single thing after that, and that's some shit. And you get, as a local, you get hassled more than a visitor.
Right, man. Again, being subject to payments.
Subject to payments.
Right.
I've seen times whereas, in also in times past, when they have around the summertime when tourists come through, the officers would wave the tourists through by the tens or hundreds, just wave them through. Some of them don't even get checked. They may spot check and just do a little, twiddle of the twin finger, walk them through. But you, as a local, when you come through, you get stopped, everything opened up, everything set down, and you writing down everything what you bring. But who is doing more trafficking than the foreigners? You see?
I said all that proves that we are slaves, man.
There you go.
Right there before your eyes. All right, let's read on, brother.
It says, regardless of whether they were, let me read this again. Slave patrols were responsible for checking to make sure that black people traveling outside of plantations could produce some kind of written documentation, regardless of whether they were enslaved or free. Slave patrols, an early form of American policing, were made up of groups of white men who were sometimes paid for their work, but were often members of the slave-owning community who worked to surveil and punish black people to ensure the continued safety of the community. True savage. There were also slave patrollers who relished the violence of their task, described by Austin Stewart as joyful at the thought of inflicting punishment on black bodies. Slave passes as a form of racialized surveillance depended on black illiteracy and white literacy. Laws forbidding the education of enslaved people were designed to ensure that black people did not have access to reading and writing, as these kinds of tools could help people escape enslavement.
Right, you see that? That's it. That's what I was saying earlier, man. All right, this thing is designed to keep us illiterate. Because if you could read and write, you could escape that slavery. All right. There's more on that, brother.
Says here. However, these assumptions sometimes worked in favor of the enslaved. Some slave patrollers were similarly illiterate and thus could not confirm whether the black people they had stopped were carrying the appropriate pass, which
Right.
some enslaved people could use to their advantage.
Right, because if Jay could read and write, he could get over by being a supplanter, you know?
Similarly, if enslaved people were able to gain some skill in reading and writing, they could create their own passes and escape to freedom. This was such a common occurrence that many runaway slave ads include information about whether the escape could have created or procured a false pass in order to help locate them. That's how come they put so much emphasis in trying to stop you from making false passports and such. So many different security measures inside it to stop you from what they call fabricating one. You see? That's something that they put so much effort in stopping you from making your own passport.
Yeah. You could drop it on that. Right? But we got the whole idea of what the slave pass is about. Right? Me check the comment board. Right, done. All right. Let's get Baruch 3 and 8 again, brother.
Right, this book, Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahweh power.
Right. So you should have an idea now, you know, why we in this position now. All right, because again, you know, we start following the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Most High. All right, that's why He brought this upon us. Okay, unto this very day, because we departed, you know, from our power, Yahweh, Qam Yasharahla. You know, we serving out our punishment unto this very day until Yahweh Shai come back. All right. I want to touch a little bit on the birth certificate. All right, but before we get the birth certificate, the brother posted Deuteronomy 28 and 19. All right, so you could go ahead and bring that out, brother. Yeah, the brother posted a lot of tears ruling in the Bahamas. Yeah, got that right.
Deuteronomy 28 and 19. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in,
Right.
and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out.
Cursed shall be when thou comest in. All right, that's why you have what we call a birth certificate. Right. All right. Now on that birth certificate, you know, where your mother signed on your birth certificate, she don't sign under her name. Your mother signed under what you call informant. All right, because why? She's informing the government that we have a live corporation. You see, because that's all. Like I stated earlier, with the passport, with the driver's license, the NIB numbers, and anything you're dealing with the government, everything is always all caps.
No,
All right.
understand about that thing is that when it comes down to birth certificate, they really only care about the mother's signature. They don't really care about the father's signature.
Right.
And in all actuality, that's the father's seed.
Right.
So it's more or less they taking away the seed from the man and giving it.
Right.
Eve taking away her husband's seed and giving it to the slave master.
Right.
Same
Right.
shit.
Okay. But this whole system is designed for the woman. You know. All right.
They give control and authority to women.
Right. You know. Right. Right. Right.
I've seen an account whereas a man raised his child, right, from a baby straight up, right, and when he went to get his child's passport, you know, because the mother wasn't inside the picture at all. In order for him to get that child's passport, the mother had to come and sign for that. Even though the man had full custody of his child, he still couldn't get that passport unless the mother come there and sign for it. That's some shit.
Yeah. That's it.
the following years got down and this time is ridiculous.
And
One time ago, they couldn't vote, they couldn't talk, they couldn't because they can't change enough. All these stuff.
God.
You're never supposed to be.
and
Right.
all of this was designed to keep us.
That's
keep
it.
us lost. Because and we would continue to my heritage of man being the woman and all that disguise and deceive us and this woman control society. Kind of society that is controlled and run by the woman where they have all rights and command the child.
Right, that goes back to what the brother was saying earlier with making that pledge.
Right?
All right.
Because when you think about it, there you go. Because when you think about it, like the Ox say a time ago, they couldn't talk, they couldn't vote, they couldn't do certain things. So what they did was they awarded them those privileges. Now that you get these privileges, the same amount you live with, you gotta have rulership over him. We can make sure you have rulership over him. You can do anything there, but the minute he try to do something to you, we can lock him up.
Done.
And that's just how they take over a kingdom. They all say if you want to know the strength of a kingdom, look at their women.
Done.
Look at how their women adorn themselves, and look how our women adorn themselves.
Right. The brother posts Sirach 25:24. The woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. Absolutely right. But yeah, man, as I was saying, going back to that birth certificate, on the birth certificate, the mother's sign on the informant. And what she does, she informing the government, that they have a live corporation. You understand? Because just like the brother was saying with the passport, why you gotta with the driver's license. All right, why you gotta renew this every year? If I still on that, if I still the same person, all right, they making money. You see? All right, and on top of that, they don't never get the original copy of that birth certificate. The original copy of that birth certificate is in London, England. You could go ahead and look that up. You understand? And then another thing, do right? Since we're supposed to be free, right? Why we gotta go to the Privy Council for everything? See what I said? We supposed to be an independent country. All right. There's so much inconsistencies. Hey, but Jay out here just eating it up, man. All right. So let's read that again, brother. Deuteronomy 28 and 19 again.
Deuteronomy 28 and 19. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in.
Right. So we already explained that, right? Read.
And cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
All right. That's your death certificate. Curse you be when thou goest out. That's why you have a death certificate informing the government that this corporation is no more. You understand? All right. That's it. That plain, that simple. All right. So let's go back to Baruch chapter 3 and let's read verse 8 again.
Okay. It's Baruch 3 and 8. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Right. We still in slavery. Read.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Right. So we still damn paying taxes, light bill, water bill, whatever it is. We still got to damn pay.
According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahweh our power.
Right. Read.
Verse 9. Qam Yasharahla, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom.
Right. So give ear to understand these scriptures. Understand these words of the scriptures, the book of life. All right. Done.
The music, they need to control the musicians. You understand? So These fellas here sitting down here following them, they actually following
When you
these people who in control.
think about
They
it,
get them with the same wear, look,
yeah.
and you know, they controlling them, they paying them.
When people hear the national anthem, they stand at attention. And if you was a person, when you listen to if you listening to songs with dealing with all type of different shit, you know, it can put you in that mind state to go there and do that shit. So that's how, again, tied in earlier when you made mention of music and such. That's the same way how it happens. Because they know Jake like music.
Yeah.
You know, feed on the right thing.
There you go. You ain't saying nothing wrong with it, but you gotta be mindful of how much you input into your body. Because all those different frequencies, the music carry frequencies. And then eventually you can throw your body off.
Done. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get Deuteronomy 28:68. All right, because it says that we've been scattered, right?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. For the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Right, you see that? So you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen, right? Slave man and bondwomen, slave woman. All right. You see that? So now this is going into what the Atlantic slave trade.
Okay.
All right. When it says, and no man shall buy you, that word is going into redeem. No man shall redeem you.
So we still.
All right. So we still here. That's it. You understand? Still here waiting on our big brother Yahweh Shai to come and get us out of this damn wicked place. You understand?
You know that vengeance is going to come pretty fast. You know the Yahweh Shai is because he has the power to do it right now. You know what I mean?
That's it.
The end right now, after all of this coughing and wrongdoings and distractions. You know what I mean? So you know, it's gonna come.
Yeah, man.
But gotta come.
That's it. All right. So why partake or celebrate this damn so-called independence, which we're gonna get true independence when you see the Lord come back.
Well, according to the precept,
Right?
we not free.
No.
He said, and no man shall buy you, no man shall redeem you. Okay. When will we get redeemed or redemption or free?
When Yahweh Shai come back. All right. So that let you know that we still in slavery. All right. So now let's get Hosea chapter 4, verse 1. Okay. And the thing about it is too, right? They like to put the Most High in everything. You understand? See, the minister was talking some shit last night, but slavery abolished and all of that shit. Who tell him that? You know? All right.
Says here, this was Hosea 4:1. Hear the word of Yahweh.
Right. Hear the word, hear the scriptures, right?
Ye children of Yasharahla.
Right, you so-called Bahamians, because that's who we speaking to, right?
But Yahweh had a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there's no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Right. So that's what the Most High hate your damn Independence Day. Because you're all about that's it. You're all about your damn decorations. You're all about your colors. You know what I mean? Okay, and that black equilateral triangle in the Bahamian flag, that goes back to Deuteronomy 28. So-called black people damn getting sold. All right. That's it. All right. So when they celebrate independence, they celebrating Esau ruling over them.
Let's celebrate the master rulership.
That's what they doing. That's it. They showing. That's it. They showing Esau homage, man. They paying Esau homage. You know? Yeah, man.
So many ways.
Right. Right. You're absolutely right, brother. They ain't just limited this damn independence. All right. Read that again, brother.
Hosea 4:1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Most High had a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth,
Right. There's no truth.
nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Right. So these people don't even understand that they still in slavery.
But they still realize when we call and when we say we are Israelites or we are, so they think that those people, they were in the Bible and that only, you know, refers to those people and those days. As far as they're concerned, there's no such thing as Israelites.
Change is everything, but who they supposed to be?
Yeah, but
We Jamaicans, you know, okay.
Yeah, when you tell them you're Israelite, you bet you born an Israelite.
Well, I read that one on my supervisor, you know. He said, Israelite, say, you know, Israelite and Israel is really there. Well, yeah. Yeah, man. All right, let's read the next voice, brother.
So you
Voice 2.
Huh?
So if you use an apple in America, if you go to Chinese and to China, you will be the
apple inside an orange orchid is orange.
Yeah, well, you boys, you know, Israelite, Israelis over there.
You're gonna be.
Well, Diego, you lost, boy.
That's like. Good. It's Hosea 4:2.
The precept, sorry, say this will be no end to all the people. That's all right.
Ecclesiastes 4:16.
All right, this Hosea 4:2. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood touches blood.
Right, so the scripture just tell you how Esau get the rule over you, right? That's how you get your so-called independence. Esau give it to you. That's it. All right, but let's jump down because we're gonna get the real reason, you know, for July 10th, and not only July 10th, you know, all other rest of holidays as well, because on so-called July 10th, which is supposed to be Independence, all of this, that's you just get a damn paid day home, you know. That's all it is. You see? Well, let's get the reason for so-called Independence Day this country. 46, yeah.
Hosea 4:6.
What this?
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Right, so both sides say he gonna destroy you, man, because we out here, we damn telling you you still in slavery. You ain't believing us. Oh, not me, white. I don't slave white. Me? Slave? No white.
I independent. I got my own stuff. I pay my own bills. I got my own car. I turn my own key.
Yeah, what? You know, but tomorrow morning they gotta go to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Right.
I will.
Okay. All right, because thou hast rejected knowledge. All this damn knowledge we just give them and been giving them, they reject the prophets. You see what I said? Because we ain't coming, oh, that's Karatis or Wamba said. We coming, thus said the Lord, Yahweh. You see what I said? So ultimately they rejecting the Most High.
Yeah.
Luke 10:16 tell you that.
You independent, you free.
You free.
You gotta get this job in order to go to work or do this or be okay. And
That's
you're supposed to be free.
Yeah. What happened? What happened to their independence then when they forced you to take that job? What happened to their independence then?
That's it.
And you getting forced to take it and you free.
That's it.
And I independent. I want that thing and you know, work against me and defile my temple or make me somewhat you know, ill. Okay, I refuse to take it, but I am okay. I gotta take this the travel, okay, or the work or whatever.
You gotta take that to leave the plantation, man. You gotta go. You gotta leave the plantation without that. You have to make sure you safe.
That shows you how close we are.
Yeah, boy.
We independent, but Esau say you got to take this job.
That kind of pressure right there lets you know that.
So what happened to my independence?
And you know all this, like the book of Hosea was going into, all this happened because we forgot our power.
That's it. The brother post here, Yeramia Gaba, Micah 2 and 2. And they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so that they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. That's it. All right. Follow my ways. See what I said?
Jeremiah, even thou discontinue from our heritage.
Right. Jeremiah 79, I think it is. All right. So Jake love oppression. You damn right, Jake love oppression. Jeremiah 17 and 9 or 4. All right. Yeah, let's finish that Hosea first.
Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee.
Right. So the Most High say he ain't got time for you. So if you want to be a Bahamian in that day, all right, when all hell break loose, don't damn call on him. You understand? Wait.
That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children.
That's it. Because they don't understand Bible prophecy. You understand? That's how come they in this shit. That's how come they celebrating getting ready to celebrate independence. All right, they don't understand biblical prophecy. They don't understand the true name of the Lord. They don't understand shit. You know, you're just out here, bug out. All right.
And every time you tell them about it, you know, they say, man, you know, it ain't that serious. Their you know, response is, oh, it ain't that serious, oh, it ain't that deep. You be like, bro, you saying you free, but come on, man. Jake ain't want to hear that. They ain't want to hear it. They quite comfortable in their foolishness.
And this shows you, you know, and last night also shows you is this whole society is anti-Messiah, because when you start talking about how our forefathers turned, you know, pursuing what we was reading earlier, and Daniel, when you was telling the lady, our forefathers didn't bow down when same thing, like
Her face turn up like she smells shit.
exactly.
Yeah, when you absolutely right, because the minute you start telling them exactly, you know, what the scriptures say, they turn up their lip. You know, they snarl and they scoff.
You have respect.
The next verse says that he turned the glory into shame. The glory of motorcade and the glory of trees and cut down and lighten up. You know, the glory of the bunny. You know, all of this glory he can turn into shame on their ass, man.
That's when you brought that out last night, when you made mention it, like that's like how the ox say, you know, when you brought out the scripture as to why y'all doing this, they were shame, and they projected their shame through anger.
That's it.
And disgust.
This is book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, which 4. And now even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I give thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Right. So
and we here independent, and he said we will serve an enemy in the land which we know not. How can we be in a land that we don't know and be independent or be free and be? We don't know this land. This is not our.
That's it. So we still in slavery, man.
So we will be in a land which are only of kindle of fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. We in a land that we know not. We don't know of this land. Okay, it is not ours. But we independent?
You know,
That don't sound right.
that's not right.
Something wrong with that picture. Huh?
Jeremiah 30.
That picture ain't right, eh?
Done.
Jeremiah say you in a land that you know not, but yet you say you're independent. How could you be
Bob,
independent in a land that you know?
I said, it said, thou even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. Right? And we're gonna, you might read that again?
Okay. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Right. The Lord is gonna cause us to serve our enemies. So we still damn being oppressed unto this very day.
In the land which thou knowest not.
Right. We don't damn know this land. This
Okay.
like it stated earlier, this is our prison.
For
All right.
ye have
The last
kindled.
year, right? This is our prison. That's why we damn need those slave pass to go from point A to point B.
Okay. Because we're not free.
That's it. We ain't free.
Okay.
Should you even need a slave pass to go from island to island?
God. All right.
No, forget a whole different land just from island to island.
Yeah, well.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
That's it. And forever, that ain't meaning forever. That just meaning a long time.
So if this you shall burn forever, how could we in this period, in this
That's it.
land that we don't know not be free?
That's it.
They don't.
We still slaves. And the scripture said Deuteronomy 28:68, and no man shall buy you, no man shall redeem you.
No man shall free.
Right.
Save you from this.
That's it. Okay. Now you can bring that precept one, but what this? They can back you up right now, brother.
It's Baruch 2:30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they
Right.
shall remember
Hold on.
themselves.
In the land of their captivities, right? So in the land, that means we still in slavery, right? And we're gonna remember ourselves, right? We're gonna turn back and we're gonna start calling ourselves Israelites and start calling on the true name, which the next voice is gonna go into that.
So we are the only people, this small little group here. We are the only independent people
Right.
in this nation.
Right.
Okay.
Right, because right, you're absolutely right. Because according to John 8:32, it says, "Ye shall know the truth shall set you free."
Okay. So we only started going people that are independent.
God.
Remembering ourselves right now.
That's it.
And that's why we hate it.
That's it.
Okay, yeah, because we're the only independent. we hate it because
Yeah.
You know, like you say that verse, and you just said that people remember ourselves. You know, and that's not for everybody.
No.
Because some people are not going to remember themselves. And we know that.
Nationality, Hebrew Israelites,
Yeah.
remember all that.
that's why they
They're going to just perish. You know, some people ain't never get
all
stopped.
of these
It's always ain't gonna never remember
we
themselves.
stand with the national because we're independent and they
God, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You know, but what is right? Yeah. But what is right? Read the next voice, because the next voice is a banger too.
yeah.
You know.
Verse 5.
No. I mean, back in Baruch, Salakia.
Baruch 2:31. And shall know that I am Yahweh their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear.
Read.
And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity,
You see that?
and think upon my name.
Right. So we're gonna praise him in the land of our captivity. We still in slavery. You understand?
Yeah, but we those who find themselves.
Let me read verse 5 for you. Jeremiah 17 verse 5. Thus said the Lord, cursed be the man that trusted in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord.
That's it.
Okay. But our heart, we have returned to the Lord.
Yeah.
Okay. But they are independent. Their heart departed from the Lord. Their heart is the heart of Esau. Okay.
Yeah.
And the nations,
Right.
all the other nations.
Right. Yeah, that Baruch.
Right. Says here, verse 32, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds. For they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before Yahweh.
That's it, and that's what we're doing now. Okay? That's what we're doing now. We remember the ways of our fathers. All right? Right? We don't go.
Verse 34. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them.
That's it. And that's when we can get our true independence.
Yeah.
All right, make your statement, brother.
I mean, true independence, we say you'll no more.
Right, you're getting it right now.
Okay.
There are Jeremiah 16.
So if we go 14. and get this job, we will be filed temple, both side temple, and then
Yeah.
so just continue. Something owned by him.
That's it.
This is Jeremiah 16:4. This is when we're going to get true sovereignty. 16 and 14. This is when we get true sovereignty. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Right. As you know, the Lord brought the children out of the land of Egypt with a strong arm. Right, read.
But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
Right, from this side of the world. From Babylon, from this side of the world. This independence, and we're going to beat them. That's how we're talking about Egypt unto this day.
Right.
Well, we can be talking about Babylon or the Americas for a long, long time. All right. This is true independence, yeah. That's it on that.
And from all the lands whither he have driven them, and I will bring them again into their own land that I gave unto their fathers.
Right. True independence. Right. God, brother. God. That's it. All right, as a matter of fact, all right, this is going to be a new holiday out of them.
Oh, yeah, a new feast.
See what I said? A new feast day. All right. Yeah, right. That also was correct. Yeah, but. Yeah, man. So for Jacob, got their card there with the Bahamian flag. You want to reconsider that, man? Because that shit look foolish. I mean, once you have the understanding, All right. You got it, brother.
Yeah, man. When it comes down to the whole, bowing down to the island, the whole independence thing, back in the ancient world, there are a group of people that if they see you going against the word of the Lord, they'll kill you for that. You see? I just want to bring out this account in the book of the Maccabees. First Maccabees, I can start the second chapter, right? Let's read through that. We pick out
Second chapter?
Yeah. First Maccabees chapter 2.
Yeah. First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, in those days arose Matthias, the son of John, the son of Simon, a priest of the son of Joram in Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons. Johanan called Cardis, Simon called Dasi, Judas, who was called Maccabees.
And when he said Judas, that was called Maccabees, not to be mistaken with Judas Iscariot the traitor.
Yeah.
Eleazar called Abiram, Jonathan, whose surname Elazar, whose Eleazar called Abiram, and Jonathan, whose surname was Apos.
And that's just going into some of the name of the sons of Matthias, right? All right, read verse 6.
And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, "Woe is me."
Khan. He said, when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, woe is me. That's like us when we seeing the blasphemies of what is going on in the land now. When we seeing our people worshiping these idols, he said, woe is me. You know, he pretty much said, well, mother sick. You know, that's like when, like last night, when we made mention, we saw the people standing at attention for the national anthem. And we look at them in astonishment, like, boy, what y'all dealing with? You see? So that's the same mindset that he was in, you know, in this. You know that.
It says, verse 7, he said, "Woe is me, wherefore was I born to see the misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers."
God, y'all bowing down to idols, you know, the strangers. Your whole freaking, the person who run your country is a stranger. You see? The monarch. You know that.
It says, her temple has become as a man without glory. It says, her glorious, verse 8, her temple is become as a man without glory. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. Okay. Verse 10, what nation has not had a part in his kingdom and gotten of a spoil?
And gotten of a spoil. What nation didn't have a part in slavery? What nation didn't have a part or a hand in our destruction? You see, every nation out there had a part inside our destruction, the putting down and tearing down of our kingdom. You see, every nation out there. So when the Most High come back, he ain't nobody could say sorry. You see, y'all took his precious jewel and y'all just squash it and throw it in the mud and say, man, fuck it. You see, y'all of us under slavery, y'all of us in derision. You know, you freaking cause, you know, cognitive dissonance among the people. You brainwash the people who to the point where they deny their own heritage. Mm-hmm. You know how grave a thing that is y'all do to the apple of the Most High, to the Most High's chosen. You see?
I could just read this precept. The brother post here, Deuteronomy 25 and 19, you know, going back to the independence, you know. Says, therefore it shall be, when Yahweh thy power had given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee for an inheritance, to possess it, thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. All right. Two reparations, man. Like the brother say.
This is a precept.
Reparations.
Chapter 7 verse 6. Okay, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are on the face of the earth. If we are a special people above all people on the face of the earth, yet we are subdued and subjected, okay, to rulership, okay, by another nation of people, okay, by Esau, by the queen and things. And then when they think they gain some freedom because they no longer sing God save our gracious queen, God save the noble queen, eh? And then they're now singing lift up your head to the rising sun. They feel that there's some okay, gain or freedom, okay, or some advancement or some okay
privilege.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we get our own national anthem.
We're pledging allegiance to the flag.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing changed. All it is, you just been transferred to another rulership.
Yeah,
that's it.
Transgender.
Still in slavery. Yeah.
You see this?
The nation of soul is birthright for.
See, they calling Kaepernick.
Okay. Ostracized for that.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
He what you know saying the national anthem? Okay, that is against slavery. That sing about it with the hireling and slave and whatnot in church.
They railroad him for that.
Okay, why they didn't hang him? Okay, this been back in
He did 100.
He'd have been 910
Yeah,
times.
well.
They can one thing now. Hang on. It is certain.
First Maccabees 2:11. First Maccabees 2:11. All her ornaments are taken away of a free woman. She is become a born slave.
God, all the ornaments are taken away. You know, and the ornaments could be likened unto all the truths are taken away. All the correct doctrines were taken away. Of a free woman, she has become a born slave. We are a born slave. The nation of Israel are born slaves. See?
And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste. And the Gentiles have profaned it.
God, you can't have you inside your own land, you don't have no say. You know, the Gentiles come and do what they want, make the rules and push out. The person who made the rule, who had the final say on the rules, who made the rules over here, the monarch, you can't do nothing inside the country without she sanctioning it. Ultimately, you see, she gave you a form of freedom, but it ain't freedom.
It says, to what end, therefore, shall we live any longer?
God, and Matthias them of the mindset, but what's the point in living like this? So why we living like this? To what end? You know, and the last say, how is this beneficial to us? You see, to what end, therefore, shall we live any longer? See, they would rather choose death than to live that way. You see? You don't know.
It says, then Matthias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourn very sore.
God, and you know, when you go into renting your clothes, that shows a form of sorrow. You see, that shows a form of anguish. And to put on sackcloth, sackcloth is you humbling yourself. You see, humility. It's 15 now.
In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came unto them, Matthias also and the son came together.
God, so that's likened unto the king, at least in these modern day times, telling the people, all right, y'all could go there and have sex with animals. Y'all could go there and, you know, commit fornication. Y'all could go there, be a man want to be woman or woman want to be man. Pretty much giving them permission to go there and do all type of weird shit. Coming into your land and telling you how to run your country. You see? When it says here in the meanwhile, the king's officers such as compelled the people to revolt came into the city more than to make them sacrifices, pretty much to tell the people, but y'all worship this idol. You know, that's who y'all supposed to be worshiping. The God who y'all worshiping, no, he ain't giving y'all permission to serve that Lord. Y'all worship this. The same way how they pretty much make you in school to pledge allegiance. If you inside primary school, high school, and they start that national anthem and that pledge, and you sitting down, you get whipped for that. You get detention for that. Because why? They putting it inside your mind, but you have to pledge this. But no fuck the part about it is, and I'll give my language, but not really, right? They forcing you to say the pledge and the national anthem, but they take Bibles to the school.
God.
That's some foolishness to say. The same Bible what they swear on in the court, but they don't keep the laws in that Bible. God. You see the hypocrisy in that? You don't know.
And verse 16, and when many of Israel came unto them, Matthias also and the sons came together.
God, and that part right there, that remind me of, again, when we went over there. When they started that national anthem, we walking in there, and when we hear that, we instantly get upset. Yeah. Instantly we get upset. Yeah. That's pretty much the same setting right there. You know, to see our people doing that type of foolishness. Go ahead.
Then answered the king's officers and said to Matthias on the wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in the city, and strengthened with sons and brethren.
He trying to receive real, you see. He trying to big him up. He say, man, he was a big man in this country. That's likened unto the monarch and the prime minister for you. Or when your boy come over on that big jet and go see the prime minister. Yeah. He going and he egging him on, but you're the big man in this country, but you run this country, but they got an offer for you. You know.
Therefore, come down first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done. Yeah, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So shall thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored. The same thing going back to Daniel, the 3rd chapter, with silver and gold and many rewards.
Can. So he pretty much say, boy. Oh,
No, is it the benefits?
Can. That's like it under them saying, but use the big man in the country, come here so you could be a king's friend. You know, but the scripture tell you, you know, if you was a friend with this world, you was an enemy with the Lord. And if you go and you take, that's like it under people that's saying, who take that bag? A lot of the people who sell out. You see, but they ain't show the type of fortitude what Matthias had. You see? Because all these people they selling out, you know, when they come, when them billionaires and they come there and tell them, "Man, come here, let me talk to you. You know, you want to be my friend? You know, bow down to this idol." You see? You don't know. 19.
Verse 19. What's it?
Yeah, watch what you can offer. Watch what he can tell them.
Say then Matthias answered and spake with a loud voice.
Yeah.
Though all the nations that are under the king dominion obey him, and fall away everyone from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
God, he held his integrity. You see, he pretty much tell them, say, "Boy, what? Everything what you offering me? Yeah, you offering me this. Yeah, you offering me that. But fuck y'all, boy. At the end of the day, I can follow the Lord." You see, he pretty much tell them cold in their face. You know, that's like if Biden come to us and tell us, boy, he giving us this, he giving us that. We tell him, say, boy, fuck off, or he following the Lord. You see, you know how much integrity you have to have. Imagine a man, and like the scripture say, he was a man with great stature.
Done.
And we notice in these day and times now, if these so-called celebrities, if they talk how they feel online, or if they say, well, they ain't into this, or they ain't down the LGBTQ and all that shit, they get ostracized for it. Yeah. So they tend to shy away from it because they don't want that. They don't want to lose the benefits.
Right, that money. That what?
But Matthias, he didn't care. He tell them, go, but fuck y'all. You see?
Yeah.
Read verse 21. So last
verse
for the harsh language.
Yahweh forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
Yahweh forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. And we pretty much say, boy, what? You think I can turn my back on the Lord to serve y'all? You think I can turn my back on the Lord for all the riches and the gold and the silver and all them things that ain't happen?
In that time, you know, the strength he had to have to stand up on his 2 feet and say that and do that.
Verse 22 say, we will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or either on the left.
So that's pretty much he telling them, boy, what? We ain't stand up for no national land. We ain't standing still for that. You know, we ain't bowing down to that idol. You know, we ain't following the king's commandments just because y'all say so. Even when you think about it, that's liking unto the job. You know, when they say, boy, what? Y'all gotta take this job. Y'all gotta take this job in order for y'all to work and do these other things. You say, no, but we ain't down with that. We refuse to follow that king commandment because it's going against the commandments of the Lord. We'll follow the Lord and put our trust in the Lord.
God, the brother will strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord will give thee, and the Lord will fight for thee.
Now watch this. Remember, I made mention back in those ancient days when it came to the word of the Lord, they never used to play with that. But you see, they were serious when it came down to you switching on the Lord. That's zeal. You see? Read verse 24. Oh, yeah, verse 23.
Verse 23. Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews from the side of all to sacrifice on the altar which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment.
So that's like it unto, you know, you always have that one Jake was saying, but what, you won't making no sense. He going up there go make his sacrifice. He won't be the first one to step ahead and say, but what? Yeah, use the big man, and yeah, you this and you that, but
Salaki, right? He created as one of the sellers that when you read earlier, and I think in the previous chapter.
God, he's one of those sellouts. So he decide, but even though you give that speech, I still gonna go follow the Eden. I still gonna go follow what he sort of do, you know, to make these sacrifices. Now watch what's gonna happen there. And there was a play back then, but
God, it says, verse 24, which thing when Matthias saw, he was inflamed with zeal.
God,
and his reins trembled, neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
God, so when Matthias see him girl gonna make that sacrifice, he couldn't help himself, but you rush up on him and kill him.
That was a righteous thing,
God,
that's almost like Phineas say, but he run that javelin.
and he stick that javelin through your boy for taking that woman. Yeah. He tell him go, he run up on him cold. You know, you dare to change your mind on the Lord, you dare to switch on the Lord for this worldly gain. You can slew him. You ain't worth the bread was given to you. What was loaned to you, you ain't worth that bread.
God, the brother both here, if I could bring this out. First Maccabees 2:50. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance the acts of our fathers, right, did in their time, so shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, brother. Trying to do.
It says also, verse 25, also the king's commandment. Also the king's commissioner who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down.
God. So everybody who was telling men to go there and sacrifice, like those people on stage were telling people to go stand for the national anthem and tell them to do this and do that. He pretty much killed them, but it was what y'all causing Israel to earth. Y'all causing people to go off. You see? And you know it says here, you know, he do that for zeal towards the Lord. He do that for the Lord. You see? But yeah, man, that's just a quick account. You know, just touching on that a little bit, you know, because we in these times now where people just walks in ways with their wickedness and they ain't getting punished for it. In times past, when you did things like that, there's a punishment and a judgment for it. But right now, your judgment going out. The judgment going out, but it ain't executed swiftly as yet. You see?
God. Last verse, it says, thus dealt he zealously for the law of Yahweh, like as Phineas did unto Zambri, the son of Salom. Talking about earlier. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. You have to have that zeal for the Lord. Now we know we can't take it to the point where we just go to kill people. No, because we ain't in them times, because Esau's still in rulership. And we can't do that yet. But it can come a time when Yahweh Shai come back. That's when the killmonger come back. And once he give that commandment, that's that. I tell him that I came about a dream when I had the other night. You know, whereas inside this church, I didn't know where it was a funeral or a wedding. And when the people inside the church was laughing and scoffing at me because I was teaching the word of the Lord, they're laughing and scoffing at me. So I get up and I leave the church. And when I went on top of a hill, you know, it was 7 men in chariots just circling around doing a circle. And I asked, they said, boy, what y'all doing up here? They said, boy, what? We just waiting on the commandment, boy. I say, commandment? What you mean, boy? They say, boy, they just waiting on the commandment before they go down there and kill all the people. I say, well, before you go and kill all the people, he say, yeah. And we can kill everybody except those who have that mark, who he tell us not to touch. And then when I hear that, I rush back down the hill and I go on to warn the people inside the church. And as soon as I open the door to warn them, before I even make a word, they start laughing and scoffing again. I say, boy, y'all better stop, boy. The Lord coming back. Boy, some niggas them there, they coming to kill y'all. They laugh and they scoff. And when that happened, I closed the door and I left.
John, you know, if I could add to that too, you know, what a brother is saying, that's a highly spiritual dream, because you always had the angels always watching over us. You understand? Look at that time, during I think it was the Syrian. All right, one angel killed 185,000 people. One shot. That's only one angel. All right. Gun. Let's look at the real killmonger himself, Yahweh Shai. It said the scripture said the word of the Lord leaped down from off his throne. All right. Okay, which is who? That angel of death, which is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. All right.
There's a scripture. What scripture said it's speaking about his mighty ones, you know, that's talking about the leader. I'll bring that over quick. This is Isaiah 13,
And 3, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them rejoice in my highness. Who's that talking about? Those angels.
God.
I was talking about the angels.
God. You're absolutely right. Look at when the Lord tell the angel to go, you know, slew who does King Herod, I think, off with his head. You know. You got something?
I have some research here. This is the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 3 to 5. Thou shalt not have no other God before me. Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. Okay? Not stand attention to any national anthem. Not serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God. Okay?
That's it.
Okay?
Right.
He said, don't bow down to them. So when either you bowing down or you standing attention, you worshiping and honoring them.
That's it.
It's the same thing. Right?
Same thing. Right. Right. So again, man, yeah. So for you people out there thinking that, you know, you free, you know, you better think again. For you thinking that you're proud to be a Bahamian, you better think again. You know.
And then we, even though we are independent or so-called free or get freedom, but we still are a part of what the Commonwealth nation, and the Commonwealth is run by all of these other Commonwealth countries and Esau. Okay, yeah. Esau and Britain and all of them, and okay, we all are Canada and Britain and all of them, right? All this Commonwealth nation. Okay, so we're not free of any rulership of Esau or this kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So with that, we're gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash, Shalom, Ba'ad Babon. 144.